We are back playing Cookie Clicker, and this has been a long time coming. A lot of stuff has happened since we uploaded the last episode. This is episode 4.
Yes.
We are in our second ascension. You're not supposed to talk. You're supposed to man the keyboard and the mouse, but I'm going to ask you anyway how you're doing. So JJ, how you're doing?
I'm doing fine.
JJ's doing fine, but he's not going to talk too much in this episode because that's my job. We got a lot of updates we're going to bring to you. So as you can see, we've been sitting this game on idle for a while. We still got perfect idling installed, and I'm not sure if we mentioned that last video. When you ascend, you need to reinstall that.
Yes.
Right after an ascension, you need to reinstall perfect idling because it's an upgrade.
Yes.
It's a debug upgrade, not a cheat. So you need to reinstall that. Remember to do that whenever you ascend, because you leave the game off for like 2 days and you didn't get anything. That's because it's off. So you need to do that whenever you reascend. Sorry if we forgot to mention that last time. Okay, so we got 1,634 chips. The total that we want to aim for until we ascend next time would be about 2,100. But that's going to be the next episode or episode after that. We're going to show you the second ascension and what upgrades to buy for that. So first of all, as you can see, we're going to go chancemakers first, or we're going to lumps first?
Let's go chancemakers.
Let's go chancemakers first. There's a new building in the game, and it's called the Chancemaker. You can see right there. We didn't buy anything of them, any of them yet, because we just launched the game up, and we're going to do it all on air as we get a Wrath cookie too, and we got ruined. JJ, you just got ruined.
Yeah, it happens.
Completely ruined, but obviously the Chancemaker is now the most efficient building to buy, as tells us Cookie Monster, so JJ is going to buy that in the 10s immediately, I would assume.
Yeah, let's actually do that.
Yeah, buy it in the 10s. Right, because we still need to catch up like 70 on those. And look at our CPS, it's going up pretty quickly. This is going to make everything quicker. Now go switch back to the ones by all the upgrades that we need. So, upgrades first. Yeah. Alright.
And back to chancemakers.
And back to chancemakers, because we just got all the upgrades, right? So, if you want to divert your attention, yeah, you can just do it under stats.
Yeah.
That's a trick, right? Stats, pop all. That's what Cookie Monster provides. Not giving you much. Okay, if you want to look at the top left corner, right under the stats tab, that is number 27, and it says sugar lumps. Okay, sugar lumps are another. It was an upgrade before the chancemakers went live. That was the first upgrade they did. With sugar lumps, you can improve the efficiency of your buildings. Alright, you can basically use a lump to level up your buildings. And as you can see in the buildings tab, well, not the buildings tab, but where they displayed in the middle tab, on the right bottom right hand side of every single building, there's this level icon. It says level 0 with the arrow up, right? Just point to it.
Yes.
Right, that's, for example, would be, yeah, exactly. So here's what you want to do, right? A sugar lump will, when you put one sugar lump into a building, it'll upgrade its CPS by 1%.
Exactly.
I'm not mistaken that. So logic would dictate that you would put those into the most efficient buildings.
Yes.
So real quick, do me that favor and let's do this real quick. Look at the sides, right? Look at what buildings produce what amount of cookies, right? Look for chancemakers. So chancemakers produce
percent of ink. Oh, no, it is
81.
There, yeah.
81.8%. Prisms are 14.9%, meaning that's pretty much the only two buildings that produce stuff for us. So, what we're gonna do though, before we do that, there's two special buildings for the sugar lumps, and that's Wizard Towers and that is Temples. We want to put one sugar lump in Wizard Towers by clicking on the arrow and one in Temples. You see that? It opened the Pantheon and the Grimoire. We're gonna do that later. Let's distribute all the rest of the sugar lumps so far. When you upgrade it to the second level, like a building, it's going to cost you 2 lumps. Alright, let's go to chancemakers. Drop a sugar lump. You got 24 left, drop 2 more. Now you're dropping 2 more for that level. Next you're dropping 3 more. Alright, another one. Another one. Alright, go to prisms real quick. Drop like 2. And go play like chancemaker. Drop 1. Alright, so that's it. We're gonna.
No, that's not the end of the video.
We're gonna keep that last one to upgrade the chancemakers next, because that's the most efficient way to do it. Okay, let's look at the Grimoire and the Pantheon though, and those upgrades are going to be huge. So the Grimoire first. This is going to allow you to. It's a bit of a mini game. Yeah, it's mini games with the two buildings, the temples and the Wizard Tower. And with the Wizard Tower, it now allows you to cast spells. If you want to go through all of them, hover the mouse over. The first one is called Conjure Baked Goods. It's going to give you a half an hour worth of your CPS. Count that 50% of the cookies owned, all that stuff. If it backfires, and every single spell has a chance of backfiring, and it says there it's 15%, right? 15% chance of backfiring. You're gonna pay 25 magic points. And the bar below you see there, the 58, that's the magic you got. So you're gonna spend 25, it's gonna go down.
You could also spend a sugar lump to refill that, but that's not advised.
No, that's not advised, because it's gonna refill over time. It's gonna take a few minutes, or like maybe an hour if it's brought right back.
Also, it refills faster the more there already is.
Yeah, but when you're not checking on the game every 2 minutes, just spend all that you got.
Yeah, of course.
So, generally oh, curse finger. Curse finger. Curse finger.
Sorry if that's loud on the audio.
Yeah, it's probably a clicking sound.
It's a clicking game, what did you expect?
It doesn't matter. Maybe if you're a more advanced player, just a real quick tip. Curse finger, always a great time to turn on the golden switch.
Yeah.
If you're that type of person.
Because it's free.
Yeah, but exactly. But right now you don't have to need to know that, because we are still doing the walkthrough. You shouldn't have the golden switch yet, because you don't need it. It's okay. You can look at all the other effects if you want to. There is 3 particular ones that I want to highlight for you, okay? It's the Conjure Baked Goods. It's actually the first 3. The Conjure Baked Goods, the Force Hand of Fate, and it's going to be the stretch time. Okay, so here's what you want to do. If you are the type of person who goes Conjure Baked Goods, you can do that twice. Just do it. Alright, so we got... So, yeah, see that? We backfired once, which pretty much... We made a net loss on that.
No, we did not.
We are clotted for 15 minutes and we lost
15 minutes of production, but we gained half an hour. Clotted for 15 minutes means we're losing basically 7 minutes.
We gained 4.6 quintillion and we lost like 5 point something immediately. It's that on the screen. But
normally if we would be at the point where 15% would be the cap, we would be basically gaining still 7 minutes.
Yes, we would, but apparently we did not.
Because we probably weren't at the cap.
Okay, here's another thing you want to do, right? The more wizard towers you buy, the higher that bar fills up. Okay?
Yes.
So the other strategy would be to, once you got enough spells to do that, and especially in the Grand Apocalypse, hit the Force the Hand of Fate. Okay, when you force the Hand of Fate, it'll give you more likely than not a golden cookie. Okay?
Yes.
So you're gonna summon a golden cookie. Each existing golden cookie makes this spell 15% more likely to backfire, which usually doesn't happen. The backfire, which is not even that necessarily bad, is you get a Wrath cookie.
Yeah, but I think it has a higher likelihood of giving a negative effect.
It does, which is also influenced by the Pantheon, which we get into next.
Yes.
Okay, so as we get another Wrath cookie.
Yes.
Which ruined us.
Nice.
So if you got that, you can hit the Force the Hand of Fate, and if you get something really good, let's say Click Frenzy, Elder Frenzy, maybe just a regular Frenzy out of the golden cookie. The next one, Stretch Time, because once you can afford both of them, you want to hit this when you're in a really good buff, because this is going to stretch the buffs that you get, which is quite significant when it happens. 15% chance of backfire, which is not all that great if it happens, but less likely to happen, so that would be a great combination to look out for.
Yes.
Is that everything we need to talk about right now? If you want to be safe, and for starters, Conjure Baked Goods, if you want to take a look at all the other ones, the other spells that may be useful in a specific situation of play. I think there's one that makes upgrades cheaper for like a minute or 2.
Yes.
Yeah, Haggler's Charm.
And some Crafty Pixies makes buildings cheaper.
Which is, yeah, I wouldn't recommend that though. It's 1 minute for an hour.
I mean, that's literally just if you idle for a long time and then you just want to buy a bunch of buildings.
That's just
maybe.
Yeah, and also that's just the one if you're really desperately looking for that last buy to get an achievement.
Yeah.
But that's the first 3 I want you to experiment around. Okay, let's look at the Pantheon, which is the temples. This is the most important one, I would assume. This is the most important one. So you get 3 worships. See those 3 spots? Jade slot, ruby slot, diamond slot. Okay, so you got all those worships down there, and each of them have an effect, but also a negative effect. So it's pretty much like in Rick and Morty, you know, with the devil, exactly. So it's a curse item. It has a benefit, and usually the benefit outweighs the curse if you pick the right worship for your style of play.
Yes.
Okay, he's going over all of them, which is a great idea. So if you want to read through it, either like pause the video or look at the wiki. There's a Wrath cookie in the bottom right.
I know.
We got clouded. 15 minutes, man. What is that? 15 minutes? Is that right? From a Wrath cookie? Tough.
I mean, we already had the clock 15 minutes from the.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it just refilled it.
So what used to work? We're probably too late for that. But the best worship by far was the Gods Amork, which is the third one from the left side. That one was, yeah, it's no longer that overpowered. It used to be for the diamond slot. It used to be 3%. Okay, for every building sold for 10 seconds. So what you would do is when you hit an Elder Frenzy or a Click Frenzy, you would have that guy in the diamond slot, and you would sell basically all your farms.
Yeah.
Right? Sell all your farms, and that would give you a ridiculous boost. Alright, click for those 20 whatever seconds. Maybe even use stretch time.
But that only works if you play actively, anyways.
Yes, that's always when you click cookies, but it's not as overpowered anymore. Now they reduce it to 1%.
Yes.
So that would make you a net profit no matter how many farms you had. I do no longer recommend using that. You can still do that. If you want to use them, you need to put them in the diamond slot. That's the only way to make use of that. But first of all, only for active players. I would only recommend it when you're actually not in the Grim Apocalypse, because that reduces its efficiency. And there's other ones that are significantly better, specifically for idling. So the first one that I would recommend you put in the diamond slot is the what is it? Moclasium?
I don't know.
Go for it.
Which one is it?
It's the one with the cow head.
Oh yeah.
It's what's called?
Yeah.
Mocalcium. It's Mocalcium.
Because calcium. Because milk.
It's Mocalcium. Yeah. All right.
Which is probably not a coincidence.
Alright, milk is 10% more powerful, gold and wrath cookies appear 15% less. That is definitely idling one.
Yes.
Idling spirit, but we use that because, I mean, no one's gonna play actively for all time, and it's not gonna ruin your active game. You're still getting gold and wrath cookies, but let's be honest, you're not clicking every single one anyway, probably. It's tough.
Also, a lot of those are way more powerful if you have the golden switch on.
That is true, obviously, the golden switch, but that's
because that negates most of the negative effects.
Yeah, but that's later stuff.
Yeah, I'm just...
Okay, so that's the one we recommend you put in the diamond slot. Take a look at the CPS real quick. That just went up by like a third. So that's probably the best one. Another two ones that we really want you to consider for idling play is the Jeremy, which is the third from the right with the gear on it, the Spirit of Industry. 10% more to buildings, gold and wrath cookies appear 10% less. For diamond slot, we don't have the diamond slot anymore. 6% each for the ruby slot.
Yes.
That one I usually keep in the jade slot for myself, because with the 3%, because one that I like better in the ruby slot would be the one right next to it. Yep. Screw ya, dude. Spirit of Scorn. Obviously, that one you only want to use when you're in the Grim Apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
Wrinkles appear 150% faster, and the big one, they digest more cookies.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what you want when you're idling, when you have the tab open.
But again, you have a higher chance of negative effects on your wrath cookies.
Yeah, exactly. All these three spirits that the combination that we're recommending for you is idling. Absolutely. If you want to go active play, you want to go Gods of Morgue, you want to go maybe the 10% more clicks. Which one is it? Go through real quick. No.
Well,
yeah. The Myrtle, right? That's one if you're clicking, that's the one you want to go. Right? We're gonna put Jeremy at 3. And what was take a look at the first one again. That's also one that's situational, okay? The Holomoor. Yeah. This is the spirit that you wanna replace with they want Jeremy or anyone, or the second one to replace with. Either you put that in the ruby slot or the jade slot when and only when you have the golden switch on.
Also note that you should not use Force the Hand of Fate if you have him in one of your slots, because those also count as golden cookies.
Those count.
Although I don't think they count against the total number of clicked for the achievements.
Yeah, that is true. I do have all the achievements though. In my
which clicks one? Even 7,777?
Yes, because I play actively.
Jesus Christ.
JD doesn't even have it, means we're playing for years. That's right. You don't want to do that. Golden Switch will be important some episodes down the line.
I'm just saying, you
maybe
might
just
think about
the information. What the Golden Switch does, it boosts your CPS by 50%, but you will, for the time it is on, no longer get any golden or wrath cookies.
Yes, and there is also another heavenly upgrade that makes it 10% more powerful for every golden cookie upgrade.
Exactly. So what you said about the Force the Hand of Fate, that is true. I only use the golden switch whenever I'm not active. When I leave my computer on, but I leave.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going out for more than an hour, because it has to be more than an hour, because turning it on and off costs 1 hour of production.
Which is the current CPS, so that is affected by clots Frenzies, Elder Frenzies, and the Cursed Finger,
Cursed
which
Finger.
is why it's free when that's
Cursed
on.
Finger.
It's, however, not affected by your Wrinklers.
Yes. So that's maybe a little bit more like how to handle the golden switch.
But we're gonna mention that again
way.
once we buy it.
Yeah. Then we're gonna tell you all the tricks because you want to turn it on during a click frenzy. You can turn it on during the Cursed Finger.
Yeah.
Not during Elder Frenzy.
Exactly.
That makes it 777 times.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Maybe if you want to, like, at the time where you're turning on the golden switch.
If you have Wrath Cookies on, just at least wait for a clock.
Yeah, if you turn it on overnight, wait for the clock. But that's not as important right now. So this is the setup we would like you to try out with the golden switch when you're there already. Pick up the first spirit, 15% more CPS if you're going to full idle. One thing, look at Crumbler for me right now. Where we got him? Still at the Breath of Milk? Alright, do the cookie chain real quick, focus on that. Alright, so we still got him on the Breath of Milk, which is what you want to keep it on, okay? I don't know if we talked about that last time, but you want to keep it on the Breath of Milk, because you don't have to sacrifice any buildings for that. You want to do that until you're comfortably over, 100 prisms?
Yeah, once you can rebuy 100 prisms without problem.
Yeah, once you get over 100 prisms and a bunch of cookies left up, then you want to go do the entire chain pretty much. Sacrifice 100 cursors, grandma's farms, mines, and all that up until prisms, because the next pretty much crumbler upgrade that you actually want to use is the Radiant Appetite for idling play.
Yes.
If you are actively playing, then you want to do that right. If we were actively playing, then we would do that right now. Sacrifice until 100 shipments and get the Dragonflight.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much not a frenzy, it's a click frenzy on steroids.
Yes.
Because it gives you the clicking power of 1,111 times.
There's also the Dragon Harvest, which is basically an Elder Frenzy that's just better. Right?
Yes, yeah. Exactly. I think that's when you need to sacrifice farms. That makes sense, right? With the harvest.
Yeah.
You want to go Dragon Flight if you're actively playing, and then of course you want to structure it completely differently from what we did. You do not want to use all the idling spirits, the ones that reduce your wrath and golden cookies. You probably want to use Gods of Morg if you want to click a lot of cookies. You want to what's the other ones? Let's just find one for the best active build. Okay. You could use that. If you're clicking all the cookies, moment tracks. You could also use that. That you can always use that at any point.
Yeah.
Next one. Seasonal effects. I'm not really a huge fan of this. We are going to buy the season switcher in the second ascension.
Yes.
I don't think that's too important though, because you get to the seasons relatively quickly later on. No.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. That one you can use if you're really clicking the cookie.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's really active play.
Yeah. Maybe do it activated if you have a switch for during a click frenzy or something like that. Also, this one, not a fan. This is the one that you put in the diamond slot when you got all the achievements except for the ones having 10 sugar lumps for every single building.
Also, you literally have to buy your buildings in tens.
Yes. Wait, what are you talking about?
Effect is only active when your total amount of buildings ends with 0.
Yeah.
So, that's a weird condition.
So you need to add that up apparently. That's the thing with the curse though. You need to read through that. I haven't even tried this one out because it didn't sound too well for me.
I mean, ripen an hour sooner is not that relevant because it takes 23 hours anyways.
Yeah. That's what we should mention, right? It takes 23 hours for a sugar lump to mature, and at that point you have a 50% chance of receiving an actual lump when you harvest it manually.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Because it just takes one more hour for it to ripen and harvest itself.
You should do that once, because it gives you an achievement.
Yes, exactly.
And achievements are hugely valuable.
Specifically with the addition of more calcium.
Yeah, more calcium. Exactly.
More calcium because of the milk. The milk is the one. Like milk is the thing that we need to play on later in the late game of Cookie Clicker. It's all about milk.
Yeah.
All about milk.
But otherwise, just taking 3 more hours to double your chance of getting a successful cookie when it takes 20 hours to get to the first stage.
Lump, but
yeah, lump. So I mean, do the math.
Don't do that. Like, build up a bunch of lumps. Invest the first into the Pantheon, the second one to the Grimoire, and after that, the highest paying buildings.
Exactly.
That's what you should do. Use the spirits immediately and check on them every once in a while. Check on the Grimoire. You can conjure some baked goods again if you wanted to.
Yes. let me just
Let's do that. And not you. Alright, so you got clotted again. We get really unlucky. We did it 3 times, got clotted twice. Even though it's just
unstatistically unlucky.
15% chance, but that's what happens sometimes. That's why you play with fire. That's why I like to use the Hand of Fate when I'm in the ground.
Because nothing bad happens if you fail it.
Yeah, I find that
because you don't even have to click the cookie.
Even though it says 15% chance, it backfires more than 15% of the time. For me, it feels like it. Probably it just feels like it because bad things.
Exactly, that's just how your memory works.
Yeah, I like force the Hand of Fate, had a good chance of getting a golden cookie and actually a frenzy. And then stretch it. Something like that. That's more valuable to me personally. So, at this point, what we are going to do in this game is set it to idle bit. Right? We are going to wait till the clock wears off, obviously. And we're going to buy more chance makers. Maybe we're going to leave it at that with the buying and do it in the next episode.
That with the new updates, there has been some new upgrades and some new achievements, as well as clots and other such effects now stay on when you close the game. So if you reload the page, it's still there.
That is true, which was a trick beforehand when you got clotted. Reload the page, or save the game before you click a wrath cookie, whatever. Reload the page, it's gone. The wrinklets still work, right? If you pop, that's going to be important for the seasons later on when you get upgrades from popping wrinklers and getting lucky, like random drops. You can still pop the wrinklers, save the game, not save the game, pop the wrinklers, reload the page. Be like before, okay.
I guess Force Hand of Fate would... no, Force Hand of Fate. Contraband Goods would be so much better if you could just reload the page to get a 15-minute clock.
Yes, that would be great. But I guess they removed it specifically to integrate that upgrade.
That might just be it.
I would assume. That would be... scroll up a little bit for me right now, see if there's any more upgrade on the right side. Yeah. No, it doesn't. Like, buy the clicking upgrade. Just do it. Why not?
It's basically free.
It's 5 quintillion, right? So the number of chips we want to aim for is 2,100.
Yes.
And once we hit those, we will bring you the next video, which is going to be the second ascension. If you do have any more questions regarding this update, because it's very tough to cover all of that in one single video, let us know. Right? Write us in the comment section.
Or check out the wiki.
Yeah, we do know a lot about Cookie Clicker, we promise. Even though it doesn't sound like it, but we promise. We really do. We have been studying this game. And not only this, but other games like this. But this one in particular for a while. So I guess keep on playing, keep on wrinkling. And JJ, do you want to get us out of here?
That's it.
That's it.